You need a makeup person.
I do need a makeup person to get rid of some of this redness that's going on today. As I said to you off camera, swimming this morning, I think has worn me out.
I still think it's old people's piss. It's singed your skin.
It could well be because I think,
Because it is like 90% tea as well.
yeah, and I think the swimming session is probably 90% pensioners and me plodding along behind them as they all eliminate themselves into the pool. Good job I've
Maybe
got
that's it.
goggles. See, that's the only bit that's not red.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. This is the thing. You're definitely following in the wake of something unpleasant.
Yeah, I'm going to have to think about this. Get a swimming cap that comes all the way down over your face.
Full face snorkel.
Face covering, yeah. So we get that plus the ridiculous heat that we're obviously going through has made me look
No one's mentioned it. I don't know what you're
made
talking
me look
about.
like Santa Claus today with my rosy cheeks and head.
I still think it's old people piss.
Yeah, probably is. To be honest, I probably got some sort of allergy to it.
You have your mouth open, do you, when you go back under the water? Or
I'm a breaststroker, so it's very closed as I swim.
what about swimming? All right, thanks.
What about swimming? There's the full-on dad joke to start the podcast.
Before we get into the happy subject today,
Mm.
see what you're drinking as well.
Juice and lemonade. It's lovely in the heat. Yeah, the happy topic of LinkedIn, where the episodes might be entitled "What the fuck's going on with it?"
Well, the episode title won't mention it, otherwise we'll get banned.
Yeah, but it's just gone to absolute dirt, isn't it? The last couple of weeks.
See, I know everything. Like, you go, oh, you must be your content shit, or you're not following all the other stuff here, whatever. But the amount of people now that are saying, what the fuck's happened? And these are people that have thousands of views generally most days,
Yeah,
thousands of followers going, what the fuck's happened? It's just died on its arse. And I know it's supposedly keeps regenerating it now. Yeah, you keep seeing older posts over and over and over again. I think if you've ignored it once, okay, we've done it twice, fine. 3 weeks later, are you going to like it? Because then I don't want my feed full of 3-week-old posts.
but
So why would I want to see 3-week-old posts, even though I keep going, three dots, don't show me old posts.
yeah,
And it
but it
still
does
shows me old
also.
posts.
It is showing me old posts that I've liked before.
Yeah, what that is.
It's kind of like, why would you? Or I'll get a little notification. It might be one of your posts actually. I'll get a lot of notifications of people are engaging with Richard's posts, and then you click on it, and it's a post from 3 weeks ago that I've already liked and commented on, and it's like, why are you sending that to me?
I don't know what it's
As
doing.
a
It just seems
notification?
to be. There's a lot of people getting pissed off, I think. And then it goes through these iterations of algorithm changes and get all of that, and it has to keep reinventing it and change it and keep people, interested. I get all of that, but this one I think is really starting to piss people off. And I think, I was never any massive accumulating huge numbers of things. You try different things. There was some growth. So a couple of posts ago put really well, and then the next two would go absolutely die on their ass. And you're going, doesn't make any sense. I think, I don't know. There's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of people getting really annoyed with it. And I think they're not doing themselves any favours. I did hear someone put a post out saying that what they were because they were looking at trying to push more people towards their monetization side of things, premium stuff. I mean, I pay for the premium thing anyway, but the like extra services and
Yeah,
courses and all this extra add-ons. So if they're trying to bribe people saying if you sign up for all this crap, we'll push your first stuff further, it's just bullshit. It's such a bad model, in my opinion.
yeah. Well, have you had the ones that go? That will say this person's just said they're looking for leadership
Oh,
development.
there's a new lead come through, and it's absolute hot arse munch, isn't it? It's just
Well,
absolute shit.
I then click on it, and it says that basically I don't have access to it.
I click on it and it says you are able to. This say, are you looking for this, that, and the other? It's like it's not a lead at all. It's basically people hacking the lead system to offer their own services.
Yeah.
Oh, so I don't bother.
No, even like I find the timings. If I don't post by 8:30 in the morning, there's no point posting because nothing after that seems to get anything.
But 3, 4 o'clock can be quite productive.
I've always found that for some reason on mine, it's always been as long as it's before 8:30, I get engagement. If it's after, I don't get anything. And I know everyone's obviously at work, but people are still scrolling and having a look, so you'd expect something.
Not during work time, I hope.
But I wouldn't sit there all day. But even when they're then like, well, push articles, we've got an article section, write articles, and that goes nowhere. Now we're heavily into video, do video, that goes nowhere. I can't even tell how the video bit works because I get shown like one or two videos in a feed of 100 sort of thing.
Someone told me video is really crap, and then somebody else tells me video is really good.
Yeah. So I'm
But
off.
then I don't think it knows what it's doing.
No, so I'm off to explore other channels anyway.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to pick up the others. So I am trialing a piece of software called Social Pitch. And then I'm going to give you the
Great. Tell
important
me
bit.
more.
Social Pitch AI.
Oh.
So some guys I know that did some marketing for me last year, but they're also kind of related to Dan Priestley and that lot. And the guy who does the CTO kind of work around it has worked in various of his companies, but I've been testing some of it for them. But it's
Not Rory.
no, nowhere near him. I'd be over the moon when he signs that contract to come and work with me, but he hasn't yet.
So no, he needs to give his head a wobble, doesn't he? I mean, what does he know that you can't have?
Exactly. I could help him.
Hmm?
He could come swimming with me in the mornings. That'd be perfect. We could chat afterwards over a coffee.
When comparing red piss faces.
Well, I could probably keep up with him, to be honest. I'd be all right there.
Well, that's it.
That's rude. He'll be one of those that can. Yeah, never mind. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so that's they're building one, but it's all around video and people who are not comfortable in front of camera, and it's to help and guide you through. So you basically decide on what the interview is going to be, what questions you want to ask yourself, sort of thing, and they come up on screen. You record, shows you where to put your
Like a self-interview.
yeah. So you kind of self-interviewing, but then obviously there's a clever bit of AI behind it that then knits everything together and can chunk it up into different bits. So you could say answer 15 questions and then it pull one that's only answers 1, 5, and 10 into a short 30-second video. But it's not quite fully integrated to them all. But you then schedule on which platforms you're going to put them. I think obviously that will be automated fully through all of it at some point. I don't think it is yet, but I still know now I can record a lot of video quite quickly and ping it out to long YouTube, short YouTube, and stuff like that, Facebook and the others.
Medium, yeah, YouTube.
Maybe LinkedIn. See where we get that other one that loves video. So yes, I'm giving it a go.
Some videos of you swimming.
So I'm going to give it a go. Have a play. I might put some makeup on to make my face a bit less red.
You did say you were going to buy some more speedos.
Well, the ones I've got are a little bit holy, so it's not ideal.
So you're supposed to have 3 holes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. For anyone out there, I'm happy to be sponsored by Speedo. I'm more than happy for that.
I think that's a stretch too far. I mean, no, we've asked for sponsorship. We've asked for sponsorships for some.
Well.
We've asked for some big sponsorships in the past. Like you're chasing a long dream there.
Speedo's in line with what we do. So yes, I'm giving video a bit more of a hit, trying to give it a go. But I did test the system for them and was one of the beta testers and had a play and actually gave them some ideas.
So did you?
So yeah, and the other one I've been playing with, you might like this one, Rich. Well, I don't know if you will. Have you come across Replit?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Because your face suggests no.
I thought we'd had this conversation.
No, well, I've signed up.
Have you?
Yeah, so I have signed up and I've started building apps on it.
Have you?
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, it's quite good.
By that feat. Hang on.
You know my scoring matrix? Quite good. It's a 9 out of 10.
Quite good, like 12 out.
Yeah, I was quietly impressed. When you think, oh yeah, you're gonna type something in and it's gonna pull something up that looks terrible. It's almost like I started just with my software Hashiru and just went, I want to design a software that manages your strategy, gets you through this. Here's the 5 categories. This is how it works in relation to projects. Here's the data we want to record, the categories, blah blah blah. Just wrote a short spiel of 10 lines or something. Created it within a minute. It's got a version of it on screen that you can kind of play, a bit like a Figma version that you can click through, and then it basically says, is there anything else you want to do, or you're happy for me to create it? So you can go, okay, I don't like that section, or can we change something, or I'd like an image of so-and-so putting in the screen here, and various other bits. Once you've done that, you then literally just go, right, create the system, and in 5 minutes it's sat, and you can watch it as it kind of says which bit it's building and how it's building it as it scrolls through everything. And then literally within 5 minutes, you've got a version that you can click into and start putting data in and start using. And I was like,
Does it host it as well, or do you have to host it yourself?
it hosts it as well.
Does it?
It's all built on the Google Cloud platform. So I think I haven't quite got my head around this bit yet, but I think it's kind of build like your MVP, get some people using it. You can add payment in, you can get people on, but then as you grow, take all the code and drop it into something else and take your system off their platform and go put it on a proper platform, should we say, without being rude. But you could literally sit with someone you've never worked with and go, right, your service is struggling with this, you're in sales, we need to do something. What about if you had a tool that did X, Y, and Z? Let's go and talk to Replit. And within an hour of sitting down together and having that chat, you'd have a system to use. It was ridiculous. I was expecting it to be bad based on like the PowerPoint. I've paid £200 for the year.
And I think the scale of things, then that's peanuts.
Yeah, when you think what a developer would cost you or anything, or someone, even I think when I prototyped Hasher on a spreadsheet, it was 500, £600 or something like that that it was done. So yeah, £200 for a year to basically sit, and you can build kind of as many as you want and go through it. There are some credit limits, but I've not hit anything yet. So I've Banter in the pool, but there's an app for that. I've built one.
Can you build an app?
Yeah.
Can you build an app to test whether someone's pissed in the swimming pool?
In the pool to make my face go red. But based on the fact we've had chats about how crap some like the PowerPoint ones are.
Well, yeah, and I'm intrigued. My brain's already thinking. Oh.
But even if you had someone who looked at it and went, okay, actually some of the code's a bit out, you're probably still getting like to 80% good, if that makes sense.
And then you're getting wireframing it, and you're getting the basic structure of it or something. Just give it an idea and run in with it, and you're getting something you can lob at a developer and go, just tidy that up.
Yeah. And like my second one, I was looking at the coaching because I do it in a particular way. Instead of having it just thrown into Teachable or something with the videos, mine's like you progress through a tournament as you complete the modules. So I've built a standalone kind of LMS just for my course. So it knows the exact 9 modules. It's all done as 3 matches. There's sections where you can put your daily thoughts and your discoveries and that into it and store them. So it's more of a kind of, let's say, coaching journal, but also has all of the modules that take you through it. So every time you're learning something, you're dropping stuff into it, and then you store all of those against the dates, and you've got a complete archive and history of everything you've kind of been working on. And then there's another section for your 90 minutes a day working on the business. So it's got a timer. And again, you start it, and then you can put in what you're going to think about, and then come up with the answers.
Give you a section for morning affirmations.
If you wanted one.
Get to work, you fluffy mother.
Yeah, a Goggins affirmation.
Scream. How about that? Probably want some issues with copyright, but I'm sure it'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
It just shouts the fuck at you every morning. She can
Every time it senses non-activity, just get it to shout at you to get you active again.
Yeah. All throughout the day, you're sat there contemplating it. Get the fucking work. Whoa, shit.
So, but yeah, that's where I'm at with it. But genuinely surprised, I think, as to how easy.
If you called it quite good, I mean, that's like that's genius level.
I call it quite good because I'm not a developer, so I'm not looking at the code and going, actually, that bit's not very good and that bit's not. I'm looking at the output of, have I got something that a user could pick up and go, right, here's how I follow the module. Here's where I do this bit. Here's where I log in. Here's how it works, and can do that. And then a back end that I can obviously manage, upload the videos into, and do all that stuff. It's done it all, which, like I said,
for well coming to, eh?
£200, and yeah, that one I sat up maybe 2 hours of my time. And that's only because every time you do a version, once you've built it and you start to change bits, it takes 5 minutes.
On top of the £200, so you're talking 200.
That much? You doubled my rates.
It's minimum wage.
Minimum wage. But yeah, I do. It surprised me because the output I was expecting wasn't anywhere near as bad as I thought it would be.
What you mean? It actually works?
Yeah, it actually worked. It actually built something. The truth is whether you can then deploy it and have multiple users sign up and use it.
Well, that's the acid test, isn't it? But as I said, it's going to get you 80, 70, even 70, 60, 70% of the way down producing an MVP. Then,
I mean, it was only, 2 years ago, maybe, I was talking to people about Hashra and going, have I made a mistake in building it on Salesforce, and should I have a standalone version? Because obviously with Salesforce, the license fee, I have to then pay a percentage to them for using their software.
down with big business, down with big business.
Down with big business. But for that, you also then get a very good system that's very secure.
Yay with big business.
Yay for big business.
Who
Whereas
opens the sponsorship by Salesforce as well.
But I would then need to build something that had all of that inbuilt security, all of the multi-factor authentications, the databases, all of that stuff. So you're going, well, actually, maybe it was a good idea, because I probably would have needed 100 grand to build it off. And now I'm looking at it and going, well, actually, like you said, I could get 70 quid of the way there, 200 quid. So why wouldn't I do that and then just have someone effectively tweak it at the end? So yes, it's a fast-changing beast at the moment.
Yeah, who'd have thought it?
But what it does mean is that dream of building a LinkedIn that doesn't piss everyone off is possible.
Do it. Let's do it.
We could have our own. What should we call it?
It cost a lot more than 200 quid, though, right?
Oh yeah, don't tell anyone. No one listens to this anyway, so we're all right.
25 grand minimum just to get in, just to get a seat at the table, right?
Exactly. Yeah, but it doesn't. It means, but for small businesses and people who've got ideas or just want to test things out, you can literally just sit down with someone and go, "What if you had something that did this?" And I know a lot of people use like Power Apps or other stuff to build them, but you still need someone who's skilled in that to do it. And now we move into a world where you can kind of have a written conversation, and even with the instructions, it then kind of it pulls up a summary of what you've asked for and just how accurate it was in the summary.
Because you keep refining it anyway, so in theory, you could keep pushing back at it and keep pushing back and pushing back. And
even though all I said was I want an LMS and I want it to do certain things, it immediately went, LMS, it needs this, 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 and this, and then your kind of version on top. So it understands the basics of what that looks like and just can create it and build it. And then there's a few bits where they've built something and it doesn't necessarily click through into the next screen. You're like, okay, what I actually need is when you click on the month, I need that to click into the what is it? I can't remember the title of the page, but it needs to pick up the notes you've put in basically and pull them through so you can see that month, this is everything I kind of did or thought about. And it goes, oh, okay, the error I made was I didn't link the database to the page, therefore I'll update that now. And then it's like 4 minutes of processing, and it goes, right, now when you click on it, it will take you through to so-and-so page, and that will show you your month record. And it's like,
that's mad.
This is brilliant.
Brilliant now.
The conversation.
Tell you what, I think
conversation was brilliant. Not the app.
Definitely ingested something funny. There's the word brilliant's come out of your mouth. I mean, you're just giddy, man. What's the matter with you?
Well, I think this might be episode 30, so maybe I'm celebrating early. It might not be 30 quite yet, but yeah. I meant the conversation, the way it picked up and just went, I realised what I've done was this, therefore I'm going to edit it and change it so
it's still part of the same platform, so to call it brilliant means the platform.
But it's telling you what it's doing and why it's doing it.
Unlike most developers.
Yeah, which you don't see for 6 months, and then they come back and go, I made that change you wanted, and you went, yeah, not that one. Oh, you changed the other bit. So we'll start again. But yeah, it's for 200 quid a year, and I think that was with the VAT as well. So I think it was 168-ish, something like that, for a year's subscription.
Surely you mean 2.5 grand, don't you? To go through.
Surely, once you've got the apps up and running, obviously the overheads and the maintenance and everything is why you have to charge so much.
2.5 grand for the taxman.
For your spinked-in platform that you've designed and built and haven't copied from someone else, but
called InLink.
Yeah, but again, I think it comes back to the conversations we've had, doesn't it? That at the moment, everything like this is new and kind of developing, and even probably what you saw in November when you're at the conference with me. Since November to now,
with you.
All right, clarify for the audience. I saw you at the conference, but everything you saw in November now. It's 1st of July. Just think how kind of out of date.
So moved.
is and how quick it's moving, which again links back to last week's episode about can you actually keep up with the pace of.
We've actually done a connection between two episodes.
We have. I don't know if we've ever done that before. There's been a
What
follow
the
on.
hell? Honestly, we're on fire. Maybe it's the heat.
The heat's made me go a bit crazy. But
You've gone giddy, man.
gone giddy. It's weird though when you got a fan blowing. I don't mean this in a rude way, but the bottom half of my body is quite cold, and the top half is incredibly hot. And it could do with the air coming up slightly a little bit. But
Maybe that's your speedos.
yeah, well, I'm wearing them still, so maybe I
can say maybe that's why. Maybe
That's
they're
why.
still damp.
But
You keep moistening them.
do I what?
I'm just trying to work out why the bottom half of your body would be cold and the top half would be hot.
Because the fan is under the table, so it's only hitting half my body. That's why. It's not a hard one. So I'm sitting up to the top.
I'm just slightly puzzled why you've got a fan under the table.
Because if I had it there, it would be heard more on the microphone, and then you wouldn't be able to pick it up.
And you'd have a cold top half, yet your bottom half don't get hot.
Exactly.
Maybe you need two then.
Yeah, I might do. But it's one of those Shark ones that's got the spray mist, and they're really expensive. So a fan, as good as it is, it's expensive.
Office equipment.
Well, I hadn't thought of that.
£2.5 grand.
There you go. I might get a big one, the 250 quid one.
£2.5 grand.
2.5 grand. You're obsessed with that number.
That's okay.
Is that your day rate now? You've got since the podcast started. Your day rate's gone through the roof.
Absolutely riding the wave of the podcast. I'm actually subsidised by almost.
This is
not Speedos, not Stephen Bartlett, not Jaguar, not Tesco. Basically, anyone that we've slacked off.
I think we offer them tips for improvement.
That's one way of looking at it. Constructive criticism.
Constructive criticism of the crap they produce. Or
LinkedIn as well.
Yeah, that's never. Couldn't care two hoots about that. I had the joy this week of talking to a council who were on Google. That was an absolute joy.
On Google?
Yeah, as their main system instead of Microsoft.
A whole council?
Yeah.
That's
get invited to Google Meet.
Slightly big?
So.
Slightly too big?
Nah, I did it years ago with Peterborough, and then as soon as I left, they ripped it out again because the older generation there couldn't cope with it.
You're beefing on the oldies today, aren't you?
No, I am, but that's actual fact. So the higher up the pyramid you go.
Peterborough Council old, and now you're pissed. You're annoyed about swimming behind old people in the pool that keeps telling all the kids they're pissed.
But apart from that, it's all good. Anyway, back to LinkedIn when we started. Then we went off in tangents. Yeah, it does feel like I've seen more and more people complain. I'm seeing it more and more in the feed of people talking about even putting out very similar posts or the same post, reposting it and getting like 11,000 in one and 500 in the other sort of thing.
Yeah.
But ultimately, where else is everyone going?
I don't know. Somebody mentioned one called Blue
Sky.
Blue Sky.
Yeah, so that's a bit of a nicer version of Twitter.
That's not really an aspiration.
No, but it's
Twitter's a fucking cesspit.
Yeah, but I kind of see that one more as it's got more of a community where
statement based rather than engagement based.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to go on there and start finding customers or anything. It's more to chat about the woes of LinkedIn business. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but it feels like because the way it works, I don't think is structured in the same way as Twitter or some of the other socials. But yeah, I definitely think video, YouTube, and Insta might be the one, and I'm going to give this new tool a try. See what we get from that.
Just
well,
before, but it's bloody pointless.
Yeah, once we'd been told to kill ourselves, I think that was the highlight
of
Insta.
It worked, didn't it?
What I won't be doing is putting it on Insta and boosting it again, because that was ridiculous. Bot-tastic. If you're going to boost it to actual people, not Dave Smith 745816, who has never posted a picture, but funny enough manages to comment on everyone.
Those damn bots.
But someone will come up with something. One of these AI people.
Replit. Go build it.
Someone. I don't know if I've got the energy to build one like that. But how hard can it be to build a LinkedIn? I want a community where you can connect with people and I want a feed that people can post into, and I can see what they've posted.
Try it.
In the order it was posted.
You've paid your money. Go and try it.
There you go, done. Right, I've just invented it.
We're going to call it
Spinktin.
Whoa, I wonder where you were going there for a second. You put a bit too much emphasis on this.
Well, you've got Splunk as a company. The government
Spanked in.
The government have just bought a tool out called Splink, so I'm going with Splinktin. So there you go, and we'll see how many people sign up. It won't be free, but there won't be any $2,500. But there'll be no adverts.
Not yet. Not until
Not
the
yet.
sponsors roll up.
Not until no one's bought into it. No, I need some money.
This platform is sponsored by LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they are backed by, aren't they, Microsoft?
They're Microsoft now, yeah.
Backed by some hefty lawyers, I'm sure.
I'm sure. But I think that's where it started to go wrong, was once Microsoft had bought it, it was kind of like...
Well, they're struggling for cash now, aren't they, Mike?
Yeah, they want a return on their investment, and they need to make it pay, and no one really has figured out how to do that.
They're notoriously tight with their cash and notoriously a bit sketchy margins.
But I think it's stupid because, I mean, ultimately, if you said to me, would you pay £5 a month for LinkedIn, and it to be kind of like it is, but not with a shitty algorithm that messes you up. So pay £5, you just go on and you'll see recent posts from people you're engaged with, connected with. You'll see their posts. I'd be like, yeah, I would. Multiply that by the millions of people that are on it, and they'd make a killing. But when Navigator starts at like whatever it is, 100-odd quid a month, you've literally gone from free to a fortune without having something.
This is why they're trying to push people down this path. I think they need to layer it, or at least give value for money, because it's just people are getting really annoyed with it, and especially if you're paying for it, then suddenly through no fault of your own, you're being just completely trashed, and you go, well, what? How's that fair?
And then all they're doing is pushing the same people on the platform and ignoring everyone else.
Who are probably paying for all the top premium services that they're trying to push.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anywho, I've got to run.
And I've got to go onto Replit and build an app.
So got to go and got to sort your face out first.
It's fine. I've been in the sun. I've been in the garden. I'm a bit red. I don't know why. I think it's also the lighting in here. Makes it seem a lot worse than it actually is. But if anyone is concerned, please do send me some lotion. See if we can get sponsorship from Nivea or Vaseline. One of them will come in for us.
I think you're going down a very dark path, personally.
Oh well, not one I've not been down before.
Or up. Anyway, that's another.
Right, let's call it a day. You go have a meeting, and I will speak to you later. Cheers, mate. Bye.
He's moving.